Hey guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project 365, episode 450. Today what we're doing is my favorite tweak on a box stretch. And why are we doing it? We're actually doing it to mobilize our lats, which you might, if you know anything, or if you know anything about box stretches, you'll probably be surprised that I'm getting into a box stretch to mobilize our lats, right? But here, follow along with me here, and this will start to make some sense. So why exactly do we use a box stretch? We use a box stretch to put our hip into flexion. Come on to the side so you can see from me. We use a box stretch so we can put our hip into flexion while the hip is externally rotated. So what other movements put our hip into flexion with the hip also externally rotated? All right? It's the bottom of a squat. Our hip is externally rotated while it's flexed. Of course, when I bring it into a box stretch position, I'm working in much more external rotation and flexion than I ever would in a squat. But what does that do? That winds up all the slack that's in my posterior glute complex region, right? Now when I wind up all the slack that's right here, I also tug on the lower back tissue. When I tug on the lower back tissue, what that's going to do is it's going to shorten and wind up all the slack that's in the lats. Now what are lats? Lats are those muscles that come up and kind of have an interdigitation of lower back, and then they come all the way up to the top, and they actually attach into the arm up here, right? So what happens is the action of the lat is what they call the handcuff muscle. It does this action, right? It does adduction, extension, and internal rotation. It's a common limiter of the overhead position because that's the exact opposite of what we do when we go overhead. We go ahead, we flex the shoulder, abduct the shoulder, and externally rotate. So follow along with me here. If you did, this should all make sense. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put my hip in a position that's externally rotated and flexed, much like it would be in the bottom of a squat. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach, rotate, and raise like I would be when I'm in an overhead squat position. From right there, what I want to be able to do is use my body to kind of mobilize this tissue. It's an active mobilization, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to keep everything down right here, and I'm just going to reach all the way as far as I can as I breathe out. And I start back again, all right? Everything gets reset. I make sure that I'm in a good position here. I'm going to reach, rotate, raise, okay? What that means by is I'm going to reach, rotate, raise, and I'm just going to laterally bend as I breathe away. One more time. Reach, rotate, raise. Breathe out, laterally bend, away. Now, by again collecting slack in this region right here, I can actually enhance the mobilization of the lat, get better overhead position. You would have never thought that we were working on overhead position while doing a box series squat. Guys, I hope this helps you out, and until tomorrow, we're optimizing function, top to bottom.